fun fact: apples that were planted in the U.S. were originally meant for cider, not for eating. Boom in your face. In your face.
Fun fact: apples have seeds.
Shut up. Actually, the other fun fact is like Johnny Appleseed was actually planting apples so people can make cider out of them. That bastard. There's not good intentions at all.
Fun fact: birds don't actually pee.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah.
They actually just have a viscous liquid that's just coating their poop.
Just say diarrhea, dude.
So
Just say diarrhea.
It sounds more scientific. It sounds more professional and scientific if you say viscous. Because you gotta look up that term so you feel smart. Okay. You ever had that? You ever had people who just want to use big words just to sound smart?
I hate those people.
Half the time they don't know what it means.
I hate those people.
I had a friend that didn't know how to say
But yeah,
plantation.
What?
I had a friend who did.
What did you say?
They said planetation. I'm like, what the fuck is a planetation? You're a grown ass adult and you can't say a plantation. But I understand that's not a common word.
It's kind of like when Donald Trump can't say Yosemite, he says Yosemite.
Yosemite?
It
is a national park.
I think my ex-girlfriend, her little sister, pronounced it as Yosemite. And then I was like, because she was telling me, do you guys have fun at Yosemite? What is Yosemite? But we laughed at her when she said, oh, you mean Yosemite? Oh. We were laughing so hard.
Yosemite.
She's probably traumatized from it.
There's a old trunking company called Old Dominion, and one of my coworkers has been calling them Old Dementia for like the longest time.
Until he was in his mid-30s.
No one corrected him, which I thought was a little fucked up. He was in his mid-30s.
People didn't want to correct him because they never heard of it. So I don't blame people.
It's so fucked up because I
never heard of that truck brand.
It's a company that stopped by.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's a company that stopped by regularly. So we've had a long-standing contract with them. So it's a little.
Maybe he's saying it right. You guys are all saying it wrong.
Correct this man. Mm-hmm.
It's like Ryu. It's like Ryu or.
But I mean.
It's like
because dementia is actually spelled as Dominion.
Hmm?
Oh. I used to think that Hadouken was actually Habuken, because on the Super Nintendo you couldn't understand him.
I thought it was all you can.
Because all right, who knew the spin? Who actually could decipher what he said with the fucking spin kick? Yeah, I thought that too. And then all you can eat. A hot pot came out every time he did it.
What?
All you can eat. But yeah, so that spinning kick move, I never figured that shit out. And
I thought that was Chun Li's thing. I thought it was spin
I thought
side
it was
kick.
just some homeless person rambling.
I think she was spinning.
Like he had a stroke in the middle of that move.
At least add subtitles. Spin side kick.
What was it called? Yeah. I mean, even if you added subtitles, you'd just be like, what the fuck does that say? You have to think, like, kids, a lot of kids were playing this. So, it's just, if you were confused about reading any words out in English, that would definitely confuse the fuck out of you.
Shampoo.
Because then when you read out Ryu's special kick, too, it's the second word is senpu kaku. And half the time you're just thinking, yeah, and half the time you're just like, where the fuck do you have the time to say this shit while you're fucking someone up?
That's why Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
was better.
It's so funny just hearing just Japanese names for moves that they have the
Yeah,
time
which
to
is yelling.
announce
It's,
them
it's
before
yelling.
before
It's
you
yelling.
hit
That makes a
them.
lot more sense. It's yelling.
God of Lightning Fest. All right. Did they have anything like that in Mortal Kombat? I thought there was just
especially
yelling.
for the
At least that
female
made
tennis
sense.
players. I think it's stupid. I think it's
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah. You know, tennis has been trying to outlaw grunting during the matches.
How are they gonna release their chi, man? How are they gonna release their chi?
Yeah, because a lot of people were getting intimidated
Yeah, yeah.
and turned on at the same time. So
I do it all the time.
yeah,
I do it
I
all the
mean
time,
it's
release my
it's
chi.
it's a proven martial arts technique when you release more force with your cry. So it's weird, and I don't know how, huh? What, like when you punch? Oh, I think that's a release your cum sound. Yeah.
Especially in that Zelda, because Zelda does that a lot.
Mm. Oh, you mean Link?
I mean, sorry, Link. Link. The game Zelda, but talking about the character Link.
That's a little fucked up though, because you know you got Link doing all the fighting, and then the story is about Zelda. Like she
It's
gets
like,
all
you
the
gotta-
credit. It's like that. It's like that bad student of your group project who doesn't do any of the work, but has his name on the paper.
Anyways, have you finished
fucking bitch.
Zelda Breath of the Wild? No.
No, I haven't. Have you finished your chores? Have you finished your script?
I'm almost
Hmm.
there.
Well, it's kind of funny because that relates to our topic for today.
That's a smooth transition. That's
Procrastination.
a very true, Smith.
How we put shit off. How we put shit off all the time when it is in our priority list, or if it's just in your to-do list in general, you just never get around to it.
What if it's
So-
not a priority? Is it, and you drop it? Does that mean it's procrastinating?
I'd still say it's, if the intention was to get it done yourself, then it is procrastination.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you were intending to learn something or do something, then and you didn't for one reason or another, or if you just didn't bother to.
Well, there's a lot of things on that list.
Yeah. So, how many times have
It's
you
a lot.
procrastinated?
I think I probably did
Mhm.
it. I don't know. As an adult,
There's a lot. There's a lot of broken New Year's resolutions.
it was at your
I
goal.
was supposed to be as big as the rock, but chocolate got in the way. But chocolate got in the way, and chocolate and
You
hot
better
pot
add-
and pho. and Legend of Korra, and Animu.
There's certain things that's easy to
Doesn't mean
finish,
you
and there's
shouldn't
certain
try.
things that no, you're not gonna finish at all.
But it's important to recognize when you are procrastinating.
Oh yeah. Um, shoot. But you do get it done at the last minute,
Essentially,
right?
I
No?
do. It also depends on how big it is too. If it's something that has to be done, and it's like a really big thing, like a mortgage or something, or switching to a house loan or something, then yes. But it's just also those things where it's just
Like what? Like right now, what's on the back burner?
what is on the back burner. I have a couple video projects that I haven't gotten around to editing yet, but I have.
How long
a
has that
very-
been?
I'd say about 2 months. That's
It's
yeah,
not that
it's definitely
bad.
2 months. Yeah. I mean, there's shit that I've been putting off for years, but for one thing, learning. I've talked about this a lot, but learning to cook, that's definitely my big thing. I didn't learn that until adulthood, because all I could make was instant noodles.
You know, a lot of people can't make instant noodles, so
You know, I had an ex-girlfriend that made noodles, like cup
I made
noodles.
what?
So I just thought that was really weird. Where
She just put hot
she
water
made
in
her
it.
noodles like cup noodles. So basically, she just got a bowl, just put hot water, and just like let it sit. And I'm like, technically, you're not wrong. It's just it's a very odd way for me to look at it.
I was like, what? That's no fun.
Because what I hated about it was that the soup ended up being kind of like tepid or
Mhm.
tepid to like cold. So
Now,
by the time I wanted to eat it, and I
Now,
usually like
did
the
you
soup
actually
boiling
make
hot.
it? Show her how to make it. Like the proper way to make it. It's like on the packaging. It says
Hmm.
hot water in the pot thing.
Uh,
I'm surprised she
I
didn't throw it in
just-
the microwave.
you know, I had a old coworker who threw cup noodle in a microwave, but forgot to add water.
I've seen. Because he forgot.
Yeah, so there was a lot of smoke, and it smelled like burnt shit throughout the building. And we were just like, what the fuck is that? We looked in the microwave, and there was this like melted mess of a cup inside the microwave. And my first thought was like, I didn't think that anyone could do this. But I mean, anything's possible apparently.
I've never done that.
He clearly procrastinated and forgot to add water. He thought he could add the water later.
If you get the noodles hot, you can just pour cold water in, and it would balance it out.
You got to burn the noodles first, so it cooks the water.
You know, I think the worst thing is like it's I procrastinated on a job position. I remember somebody offered me not offered me the job. I think they recommended me for the job, and I didn't send my resume in because I waited, and suddenly I hear somebody else got the job. I'm like, God damn it! So upset about it. It was a pretty good job too, so I was really upset about it. I was like, oh man, I should have acted on it. It could been.
Yeah.
It was a nice weekend job that you can do, but you're making like $1,200 that weekend. So I was like, man, that's really good. That's a really good setup.
But it was a so that was a gig, right? And that wasn't really that wasn't so much a career job.
No, it was a job. It was a job.
Oh, so okay,
It
so
was a
it's not
job. It
just
wasn't a
that. It
gig. It
wasn't
was like
just okay. So it wasn't just pertaining.
it was
to
more
one
like a
weekend.
weekend, a weekend job.
Ah, okay. Mm,
So, but yeah,
I've had
I think
a couple
after that, like
instances like that.
I think after that, I'm like,
Mm,
once I get something, I'm submitting my resume quickly. So, um,
yeah.
I think with resumes, when I get a new job, I update it immediately. It's like I don't want to wait because the next opportunity might be coming around the corner pretty soon. So you want to like get that done.
Yeah. I mean, I to be honest, I procrastinated on my
Dang.
resume for like the longest time, like after college, just because it was one of those situations where they're saying like they need so much experience for an entry level, but it's like you just got out of school. Like where the hell did I get that kind of experience? And it's like you need experience to get a job, but I need a job to get experience, kind of thing. And so it was that perpetual thing, and that's what I saw on my resume. But once I learned how to write the resume and do it more professionally, then it was just like, okay, like once you got something in, that's pretty much it. Like you can run anywhere with that. And it's so, and you know, the other thing is always write, put more bullet points than your resume can fit, just so you can interchange them for any kind of position too. But you know, the job range for mine is a lot broader compared to yours.
I'm surprised you didn't do a thing where, you should have like a Google Doc, and you should have all of it written out, and then depending on what job position you want, you click the one that applies to it, and it basically builds up your resume for you. It's like, okay, this is job for this position, and then once you print it out, it's all organized, nicely done. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, there should be an app like that.
I kind of did something similar to that, where I took the ideas and then worded them into my own experience to make it relevant to my job or what I know, so that it's not lying about the position. Like I've done it, but it's also that it also fulfills like the criteria of the job too. So that's one that I had a bit of trouble getting started, and the main reason behind it is just out of laziness. It wasn't. It was out of laziness, and it was just me being unwilling to take that step. But it's also so important for you to take that kind of step, because it was definitely out of my comfort zone at the time. Once I got it in though, boom, so easy. And you know, regardless of which, doesn't it doesn't lie about my skills, and it doesn't make me feel any less confident about them. Yeah. One thing I kind of procrastinated on over here is some of the housework, where my
The
wife
whole
had been
thing.
getting on my case about expanding the driveway to our house, and I'm just like, oh man, like I gotta fucking dig up the yard. I have to dig up some space just to expand the driveway. Yeah. So I have to dig up the dirt, and I have to
So you,
set up the molds and the boundaries, and calculate the splits for the slabs, and you know, prepare all this stuff and
so
pick up cement. So
so she wants to
it
get
was
rid
a
of the
lot
whole
of
lawn.
heavy labor and like calculating that I was just like, I don't want to sit down and do this on my day off. Not exactly. It was just there was patches that there was parts of the lawn that seemed unnecessary. Like there was a spot. You've been to my house, so there's the space between our driveway and our neighbors. That was like a patch of dirt / grass.
Oh, it was that small, huh?
Where it wasn't serving any purpose.
Oh, I did not know that.
We can use that to expand the driveway, as well as the other side of the driveway. So we can fit 2 cars in our driveway now instead of just one. And that saves us a lot. Yeah. It was a really small expansion. But my thing was that if we were to do this and we didn't want to go through like paying someone else to do it when we were capable of doing it ourselves, the only thing about doing it yourselves is that I have no help, or I had no help lifting all the bags of cement and stuff into my car because my wife couldn't pick up any. You need a leg day, come on. So it was just me doing it. So it was that kind of discouragement. But when I got down to do it, my dad's like, it's really not that hard. Just go ahead and do it. And I'm like, all right. So I did it, and it was done in like 3 days.
I definitely don't procrastinate when it comes to car maintenance.
Not as bad as I thought.
I don't. I take care of it immediately.
Got another one for us?
It's like I don't sit on that thing for anything. Huh? Yeah. Of course. I mean. Yeah, I think I definitely like from the first car. You definitely learn a lot from the first car.
You don't procrastinate when it comes to car
like certain things and stuff like that. Like I used to drive the car like on empty. I don't do that anymore. No way. That makes me nervous.
I feel like that's from past experience.
No, on an empty
I feel
tank
like that's
because
from
what
past
happens
experience from the
once
notorious
the tank is empty,
Integra.
it ruins the fuel pump. Fuel pump. So I fill it up when it's like like almost halfway, just because I don't want the car to be ruined, and I want to last for as long as as it can. So yeah.
On empty gas?
Oh my god.
The fuel filter. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
You told us like 3 episodes ago. All 3. Do you have a pump in your car?
I mean, there's definitely certain practices.
Do you have a pump for your car? I just bought one. It's amazing. It changed my life.
One thing is always pay attention to your tire pressure. That's another big thing.
Yeah.
Because just from personal experience.
Get one.
From a previous podcast, I talked about like fuck that shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For all 2 of our listeners. Huh? Oh, the one that plugs in your cigarette lighter? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a compressor would serve me better. Air compressor. But yeah, it's basic maintenance is definitely important. Oil changes, they're pretty important overall. Just make sure you do them like regularly. We had a friend who drove a van, and he would only, I think he changed his oil once every 6 months until he got he basically didn't want to pay for someone to do the oil change, which is an extremely simple process. and he waited 6 months to call me when he was desperate enough to tell me
said,
that
"Forget
his
it."
light's on and he needs a oil change. So, I don't. It only takes like 20 minutes of your time max, and it did not require much effort or knowledge. But and my other thing about procrastinating too is just teaching my dogs new tricks. It was No, it's not even that. My dogs for the most part, they're really fucking smart. Well, one of them is, because she learned a trick where she learned a trick where she can ring a bell to communicate with us. So she uses the bell to ask to go to the bathroom.
So she knows definitely no math.
Which was really cool because it makes it a lot easier for us. It saves a lot of pee pads and damages because we could just take her outside when she needs to go.
It's like sitting there on the laptop, just like.
She learned that trick in like 20 minutes, which is pretty incredible for a pit bull.
He's like, "Am I dependent?"
And you know what? They're really smart, and they could learn a bunch of different things. And she's still learning some different things. When I'm teaching her today, it's just the repertoire that I had planned for her is definitely out of whack in terms of a schedule.
No, it doesn't. It does not exist anymore.
So all she knows how to do is sit and do taxes and and ring a bell.
I used to balance.
I don't know why I get audited every year.
Oh yeah. I think I would do it on a Saturday. Because
I get 8,000.
I took a class about
I
finance.
get an $8,000 tax return.
This was when I was in high school. So it definitely helped out.
This?
It was like learning how to do it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
So you like balance my checkbook and shit.
But definitely.
Damn, that concept doesn't exist anymore.
I mean,
balancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it doesn't though, in some ways, because it's just.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Just imagining the headache behind that, and just the time.
Yeah. He's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often did you do that?
I just find it calming to do it, but yeah, that's the one thing I don't procrastinate. It's like because I was always broke, because I need to find out where my money was going to. So.
Mm-hmm. It's not. It just takes it just really. It just takes you sitting down and writing down every transaction too. It's just if you follow up with that, then you don't even need to sit there and balance it. But it's the time taken to sit down and do it. So wow, good on you for that, because I wouldn't have done that shit. I mean, I have enough trouble reading already, man. You want me to fucking write something too?
I'm surprised you didn't invent it.
That's very important. That's very important.
I'm surprised you didn't invent it.
I found that I was better at pinpointing that once the balances were already done in like your bank account. So you just log onto an app and then like you have all the information there. So you're already made aware of what exactly happened. So I'm just like, okay, so I can figure out where my finances are. So there is a convenience there, definitely, but it helps for the sake of being more efficient. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been able to balance my checkbook. I was just, to be honest though, I thought I already had the idea that we're moving towards that technological age where we won't have to worry about that shit. We can probably
You
log
know
into
how
an
long
account and then,
it took
figure
me
that shit
to
out.
switch
So
over,
I'm gonna just wait for that to
sign up for
happen.
the web version of my bank account.
So procrastination saved my ass. So procrastination saved my
I
ass.
think I
in
wasn't
that
until
regard.
like 20.
I know. If I did,
I think
it would probably it would have
22 until like
been a game-changing thing.
because I was like, I'm tired of going to the goddamn ATM and looking for the
Yeah.
what was that?
I wouldn't be here doing a podcast with Cola. Is the man that figured out how to balance checkbooks in 2 seconds, but he doesn't
No,
want to
I
read
only
a
started
script.
started doing when I figured out how to use my my debit card.
No. I mean,
Because for me it was like straight
Just-
cash only. It was straight cash only
and
until
the
I
other
didn't
thing
have
is,
it, and then
it's just,
my girlfriend at the time said, "Don't you have a debit card?"
Yeah,
Just
I
use
was
that."
just-
I'm
I was just
man,
fucking
I'm so
lazy
nervous about
for
using
the
it.
most part. I just thought that.
I used it, now I
You know,
can't stop
we
doing it.
probably we're most likely going to have something to that degree where someone's going to figure that shit out for you.
I use my debit card first. It's because it's money I have, you know.
No. How long?
It's like shit.
Is it now? Now is it because you were still balancing your checkbook until that point, and then you were just like, oh shit, I can log on to my
Yeah, I
account,
wish somebody would have told me that
and all this information is there.
when I was younger. God damn it. Actually, no. Yeah. Anyways,
Wow.